Hi,
Hello.
Mau.
Welcome to Radiant 123.
Oh my god, the counting. We haven't quite reached 4 though. To be
I
fair,
mean,
that
that
is
is
hard.
pretty on brand for this scene.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Very silly number we have here. Even sillier, we've got some matchups coming right at you. Big top 8.
As opposed to small top 8.
Yes, as opposed to small top 8. We do big stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Gargantuan, even. Here we have our matchup screen. Akuma versus PCO, seed 7 versus 3.
Yerp.
In just about every stat, it looks like Akuma is taking the cake. But of course, when it comes to the actual interaction, anything can happen.
Mm.
I do love to see how players adapt to stat gaps.
Yeah.
Always a blast to watch.
Yeah. I often think of what's the username again? That I'm just gonna stop speaking. I forgot the username of the person in question.
It
I
happens.
forgot. Yeah.
But we are going into our warm-up now. We're gonna see immediate LST from both sides.
Yeah, I was gonna say immediate flat top.
But that
Any
is a
else here?
lot of missed on PCO's
Yeah,
score.
that's. Hey, better get mud now during warm-up than actually during the game, you know?
Yeah, this is what warm-up was made for.
Yeah, like this is. You know, it's time for like the what's it called? The mid-game secret grade.
Real. But the thing about that is, even though it looks like a bad sign, it also means that you have not shown your hand in the warm-up. So maybe they can catch Akuma off guard coming into the initial round.
Hmm?
The good luck have funs go out.
First to 11.
Yup.
We should get like I think XX should have like first 11 matches.
X plus first to 11?
Yeah.
I did wonder how people would react to that.
The ISRS moment from Akuma. We loved ISRS.
Akuma is going to be taking the surge lead. We're going to see PCO playing a lot more defensively, but they don't have well access yet.
Yeah.
PCO is actually playing at an entire piece per second down, which is a very scary situation to be with a surge disadvantage, but they have the material.
Seeing them both stall is so funny to me, just like...
Sometimes it is just the optimal play.
Yeah, just like a little mid-game, like, hey, you good? Ooh,
I don't know if they're good. They did just eat a 52 spike.
Listen.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't defend them, but like, they almost got out.
Yeah, Appa taking a very commanding start here, playing at 217 APM. You see TKI from both players, but not the same variation. PCO is going to be taking the surge lead this time.
And the PPS lead, actually. It's the full, like, 180 from last match. Not that it matters, apparently, but, like...
They were in such a nice spot, but they could not find the skim to send their surge.
That's the thing, like, you might have surge, but if you can't clear a line without back-to-back, what is it good for, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, that eyepiece, no! Good cleanup of
the
there was a J piece I can see.
PCO gonna be at the bottom of their board. Usually a scary spot, but Akma does not have any material to spike them out.
Yeah, oh, these misdrops really not playing in Akma's favor either.
And that's gonna put PCO on the board.
For a second I thought that was stick spin, but that isn't stick spin.
No, it isn't. But we're gonna see PCO just like keeping it relatively standard with their opener gaming, not doing anything crazy.
Looks like fairly even. I mean, it was until like the surge break, but oh my god, that spike! But not even enough.
Amazing surge break, but Akma was just ready for it. And PCO is gonna be struggling to find well access here.
Ooh, that
Too
comeback
much
magma,
lead.
great.
And we are gonna see the SDPC spin from PCO this time. They have been doing a lot of playstyle switch-ups, not necessarily the
Yeah.
opener specifically, but just in general. Seeing when they decide to try and burst.
Yeah, PCO really taking their time this round. Really efficient though. Back to like 14 in just now. That's 16.
Very scary wall coverage, but they are going to find the piece in time. And Aqua's going to need to find this wall really fast because they are on the receiving end of 23 back-to-back difference.
Ooh.
But they
Yeah,
did
but
make
Aqua
it to the bottom.
Oh,
Still not enough.
I thought them out for a second, but maybe Wi-Fi trolled me.
Yeah, they had lived the initial surge, but the follow-up's always going to get you, especially up here.
Hmm.
Players can just build so much material in so little time. So if you have
Especially with
nothing,
Allspin.
yeah. You know, Aqua's
Part
actually
of
just
me-
going to choose to break it immediately there.
And part of me does wonder what season 2 would have been like with back-to-back chaining and Allspin minis.
The stat inflation would go insane.
I mean,
Absolute
it
chaos.
would take like 2 bags to get backtrack +8 realistically. maybe 3. No, the eyepiece and piece. Ah.
But as you can see, it doesn't take a rule set like that to have these explosive matches. Akma's been really good at taking these early leads, but PCO is just continuing to find these extra adaptations.
Particularly now Steve from both players. I say as they both immediately diverge after.
PCO is going to break the surge first, but Akma didn't even need to retaliate yet.
Really,
But they
really
are going
clean,
to
yeah.
get well access.
Yeah, breaking just to get a bit of breathing room, but yeah, that follow-up there, just Pisa just couldn't keep up.
It's always going to be the follow-up that gets you. Gotta be ready for it. MS2 from PCO there, but neither player's going to get any clear advantage. Aqua's got the board state lead, but PCO just has a lot of material.
Yeah, really open well, as I said, immediately like gets an unfortunate will and also has to break back-to-back, but
Very nice all-spin solutions from PCO here. But they are going to have to break their surge, and they are on the receiving end of a 23 back-to-back difference. Aqua is going to be stuck in 9-0. They're going to do some tanking to try and make their follow-up better. But they are going to have to break their surge
Oh, the
defensively
ice!
here.
No, they had it and they Ice Spin SRS is like among the hardest things in this game, in my opinion.
Most definitely.
Only second to like freestyle PCs and stuff, honestly. But honestly, they do go kind of hand in hand.
You're not wrong. We're going to see PCO taking a little bit more time on their solves. And it does result in them being cleaner.
Oh, that SPs, yeah. That missed up, just forcing the down stack to not get like an unfortunate situation.
Once
I
again, we're
definitely
seeing Aqua take a severe speed advantage, and we're going to see them actually start to speed up. They are in bursting mode.
I think it's really interesting. I've noticed like a lot of some people being more and also less greedy with this season. Like having the ability to like save your back to back with all spins has made people more greedy. Simultaneously made them like less worried about breaking it because you don't have like a chain that keeps them up.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
Because with the new rule set, you kind of like don't get punished for having a high back-to-back chain. Because
Yeah.
you can't just always release defensively.
On top of like having like all spin to like keep your back to back going even if stuff does go south.
But of course, we have seen a few times in just this matchup where it has gone south and there was just no skim available. So you still have to be a little bit careful in the planning, making sure you just have your ways out. And that's what PCO is looking for on the receiving end of an 11 difference. And it's not even needed. Aqua's going to maintain their 5-point lead. We're going to see SCPC versus SCPC spin. Aqua doesn't get the PC, but they are going to get the surge lead. They break pretty even. PCO has a little bit more cheese than they would want. And Aqua's very clean. This resulting spike is going to be pretty scary for PCO if they can't get down really soon.
Especially the top of the board there, really scary situation to be in.
And PCO is just ready with that punish. And we have seen some stalling from both of these players, so they're definitely doing at least a little bit of screen watching to make sure they have these punishes when they need them, which just makes them that much scarier on both advantage and disadvantage.
Early surge break there from Akma.
Breaking the surge just to keep a clean board state. PCO does have the surge lead, but they're gonna have to use it pretty defensively here, which is gonna give Aqua a lot of clean.
Yeah. And PCO still like fairly far up.
That is going to be match point. And I think they're really just utilizing like how much they know about these interactions to just keep cheesing their opponent. Because like they have the speed lead, they can get away with down stacking as much as they want. So if their opponent is just a little bit more cheese, that's just going to give Akma a severe advantage. We're going to see PCO completely clean.
Yeah, I was going to say, really clean board set from PCO.
But Akma's been doing some really nice tanking thus far. Trying to force PCO in a bad spot. With no well access, this could be time.
Oh, that
Builds the
DT,
DT, but has no wall.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Truly. Yeah, PCO's been playing pretty stylish. I think they found 3 DTs that set. But Akma's just been keeping it neutral, and consistency is key. Alright, new matchup. Adri Pro versus Corpy, seed 1 versus 5. Once again, the cool thing about these tournaments is that just about everybody who's like in them is like familiar face. Like these are, of course, weeklies. So these players get here weekly. It's like actually so cool to just see these players evolve over time. We are going to get into the actual set. They just skip warm-up. Very interesting decisions here. Wait, I just realized that Corpy is not playing with infinite soft drop factor. That's a very rare thing to see so high up in the Tetra League rating. We do know that Corby likes their all spins, so maybe it is a consistency thing for them. And it's serving well. Adri is not able to break their surge, and Corpy's gonna be on the board.
Corpy always has like really interesting all spins. Always a really fun player to watch.
We saw the PCO from Adri Pro there. Not gonna end up taking the PC. And another interesting thing about Corpy's gameplay is how much they know how to control the pacing of the game. Like, you see, they're always keeping a specific speed disadvantage against their opponent, knowing they could burst out at any time, just because they know it's simply the safer move.
Mm-hmm. One thing I also immediately noticed is like their like instant soft drop.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna be using this to just continue building the surge. Because one of the ongoing bits when it comes to Tetrio players at this point is that the surge either kills at 8 or 30, and Corpy did make it to 30. Early TSDs from both players. Adri's gonna be taking the surge lead, but not by too far. Corpy does an all-spin sequence in order to find their well. And Adri's just keeping it clean. Just trying to plow through.
Ooh, but unfortunate board state there for Corpy. Really good down stack though, but isn't enough? I'm not sure. Never mind. I'm just lying.
Yeah, we are gonna see that Corpy burst that they know how to do. Always knowing that they can burst out at any opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, being on the other side of this is always interesting because you can never really know what to expect. Always having to overestimate what you are capable of dishing out at any kind of moment, looking for these kills.
Really good down stack find there from Corpy. Watching Corpy's like slow methodical down stacking is like really like a treat. Like
very much
like
so. Adri Pro is going to be stuck in the 8-1 stack, so that is going to break their back-to-back.
Ooh, that massive surge break there. Is it enough? I don't think so. Oh, that
Adri did have to cancel.
the TPs, no!
Very nice misdrop punish from Adri Pro there. The interesting thing is, like, outside of Surge, no player is really, like, taking any, like, aggressive overstacks. So that might just be the deciding factor for most of these rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Both of these players are just trying to keep their board states neutral. Once again, consistency is key.
Definitely. Yeah, just a bit too much for Corpy to handle just now. Really well played from Corpy from AD Pro.
It's gonna tie us up. Corpy is definitely like abusing the early cancel buff with these TSSs.
Mm-hmm.
Just giving yourself a slight edge in the material advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a greedy waste eye from Adri Pro there. But they know their limits and they're out of there. These spikes just like completely canceling each other out. Once again, until this surge happens, it looks like we're not going to see too much initial aggression.
Yeah, both players taking it slow to build up their surge before doing anything spectacular.
Corpy's going to be finding these all spins, trying to make sure they don't send clean, trying to keep the pace of the game as slow as possible. Adri Pro is trying to challenge that though. because Adri Pro, with the innate speed advantage, is trying to just increase the pace of the game, trying to get to a point of volatility that Corpi is not ready for.
Hmm.
But they're just so aware.
Ooh, that really nice Aspen and find just now.
We're currently just witnessing a very cool moment of both players building their set at the same time, both sending at the same time. Corpi's going to be on the receiving end of a lot of clean, just going to be a matter of accessing it.
I definitely think it's interesting just how much Season 2 has changed the way people like play and stack like Tetris in general of the minis.
Definitely well said.
Like, you can see across like other Tetris games, like it's fairly like similar, but like this is like for one of the big games, it's been like the most like we've seen like gameplay differ between like versions of Tetris.
Yeah, I do think that Tetrio is just currently the most creative of like the larger games so far. With all of the changes they've been making, they've really done a nice job at finding their own identity here.
Mm-hmm.
But now we are going to see Corpi actively trying to burst. And they get a very nice well.
And still having the search advantage, really putting Adrian in like a rough spot. Popping it, but just isn't enough.
Yeah, they did end up giving Adri a lot of time to downstack after that misdraw.
Yeah, especially like I've noticed like Corpi often has nice surges, but just doesn't have enough follow-up after.
Yeah, that is one of the hardships of being at a speed disadvantage. Finding those follow-ups, you just don't have as large of a window. So killing is just that much harder. But we are still going to see that their defense is unparalleled. Once again, knowing how to just completely take over the pace of the game. We're going to see the players once again start to build up that surge. Evenly so.
Ooh, massive
Both players,
spike
once
there
again,
from Corpi,
10
but like
spikes at the same time.
just not enough for Adri. Yeah.
He's trying to look for the downstack, but their Q just doesn't agree with him. And the fact that like these players are just hitting margin time, like they really are going band for band right now. Oh, what a solve from Corpi to find that PC. And Adri is surprisingly cheesed. Really just showing the strength of all spins here. They may not send too much, but sometimes that is exactly what you're looking for.
I thought Corpi was about Adrian was about to do a Finn just now, but didn't actually end up going for the mini instead.
Yeah, that Finn might have been a little bit greedy, but we were looking at it. Sure, they were too.
I wonder if they could actually see it, because like Finn singles are such a rare thing to even go for, just like Finns are as a whole. Has to be like one of the most obscure things to go for in this game, with together with like ISOs and Neos.
I mean, with like the awareness of like the kick tables for just about every piece being high, like at an all-time high for Tetrio players, I definitely feel like, especially at this level, they're just seeing these kinds of things, but they are very good at risk management.
Mm-hmm.
And Adri's going to be sending, and Corpi does not require a response just yet. Gonna try and find that punish. Adri did miss on the eyepiece.
That delayed surge break, they're really playing in Corpi's favor.
Corpi once again just setting up more and more all spins that they're known for. Gonna be taking a pretty high surge lead. Oh no, Adri could not find the all spin. I spins once again just very hard skill.
Yeah. Especially, if I remember correctly, isn't SRS Plus and normal SRS different with iSpins? Or am I mistaken?
I'm not too sure how much SRS Plus changes from SRS.
I know it changes 180s, making zippers possible, but yeah.
I do know that it makes like some of like the orientation specific spins possible, just because you
Oh my
can
god.
180 into the correct one. But what a punish from Corpy there. He's not gonna follow up on their opener there, just trying to keep their board state neutral. These players are playing extremely safe thus far. Doing what they know works, not trying to get too experimental just yet. And once again, on those orientation-specific spins, we saw Adri
Yeah.
do that 180L there. This is a pretty interesting spot.
The surge break from Corpy, but yeah, it just doesn't have the follow up. Really good
Both players are
combo
pretty
extension
good
there.
for an APM as well.
Yeah, it did a really good job canceling just like the combo extension from Corpy. Really avoiding a bunch of cheese just now. Nice surge break to avoid the top out. Cut copy.
And another
Nice.
cool thing is that we are seeing Adri's adaptation because we've been seeing Adri slow down more and more as the set progresses.
Mhm. Ooh. Oh, the TPs got stuck. No.
Unfortunately,
Really-
no kick out of that one.
Really unfortunate.
Corpy
See
once again
stick?
on their TSS antics.
A stick from Adri.
Corpy doing relatively standard canceling here. And Adri has a massive spike incoming with the surge as well, which they might not even need. But Corpy's not too far behind on that front.
Yeah. Especially if like the surge as well, Corpy had built up.
Yeah, Adri was able to tank majority of Corpy's surge, which is usually a death sentence. But their material just wasn't enough.
Adri taking the back-to-back lead and the surge break. Ah, not
Yeah,
quite
just
enough
a
follow-up.
masterclass in stacking from Adri right now. "19 spike from Corpy is gonna be good enough to take it. That's gonna bring them to a 5-point lead. Adri could not find the Q that they were looking for, so they are going to be forced to break their surge earlier than they won. But they got a really nice well. They're gonna find donations with it as well. And despite that, Corpy might not have been ready for it, gonna force them to break their surge at an unopportune time. And Adri, once
Yeah,
again, having their sequences planned to count out of there.
Ooh, just enough time to get that slap piece up. That was really, really close. But amazingly, Corpy always has a really clean out of all these situations, even with a speed disadvantage.
That is just a necessary adaptation. When you are consistently at a speed advantage, you need to find creative ways out of these situations because you cannot just steamroll your way through like the majority of your opposition.
Mm-hmm.
Corpy gonna find that combo all the way down, attempting to cheese Adri up, but Adri did have the
The
cancels, and
PC!
Corpy ending that round stylishly with a PC finish.
It's a shame PCs don't do as much as they did last season, because that would have been insane.
Yeah, PCs are kind of just silly now.
That being said, they are like a really, really good start for going for all spins.
Yeah. Fortunately, their Corpy did misdrop their IPs, and that waste die is just going to give Adri that point. See Adri going for another stick. Corpy once again trying to keep it standard. I say keep it standard, but like this is still Corpy. We're gonna see a lot of epic all spin solutions,
No.
but they're T dependent there, and use their T too early. Adri once again bringing out the stick. And Corpy's just gonna go in for
Corpy.
LFT.
Yeah.
I think they were thinking about just counting to 4 out of that LST, then finding the superior all spin solution. Always love it when you can see the thought process in the finesse.
Mhm.
And both players that even surge. See that Adri does have the slightly better board state if they were to break at this moment. Especially when Corpy is gonna have trouble counting out of here.
Oh.
But Adri overstacked a little bit too hard there. That unintentional surge break is going to give them the round.
Yeah. Like sometimes like Surge is really catches you off guard, because like coming from that last season, there's like build up to these like large spikes, and like,
Yeah.
but like now you can break it whatever and it just comes, you know.
Yeah, sometimes, like, on the receiving end, it feels like you just get owned. Like, there isn't too much warning to when you get these spikes. You kind of just know, oh, they have something. But it's entirely up to their discretion when they decide to exercise it.
I mean,
That's
you
just
know,
scary to
like,
be on the receiving end of.
yeah, you know, like if like back-to-back trading, you had to like slowly like wait for them to chip you away with all the increased APM. It looks like a different way of like playing this game.
As the set progresses, we have been seeing Adri come on a bit of a comeback. But if this pattern continues, then they might be in for some trouble. So they're going to have to find a way to break this momentum. And they're going to need to do so fast. But especially in this matchup, fast is what they do best. For better or for worse. Once again, Corpy very neutral board state, dictating the flow of the game.
This was some of the fastest we've seen AD play like for the entire round just now. Like 3.4, like the entire round just now. When we've seen them play like 2.4, 2.7, like most of the set due to Corpy's like slower pace as well.
The interesting thing here is that Adri started with the surge lead and then Corpy took it. And then forcing Adri to break at an unopportune time, they are going to find the well. And now the ball is entirely their court to find this kill. Corpy finding some very nice ways out. And Adri at the bottom of their board, they're going to struggle to find the material they need to kill. And it looks like Corpy's out of there. Yeah, Adri's going to be sending all of their material right there. Just going to give Corpy some time to retaliate.
Really clean down stack there.
Now we're going to see Adri using their speed to try and cheese Corpy more. Force him on even more awkward down stacks. And speaking of awkward down stacks, Adriu had one right there, but very clean way out, melted like butter. And Corby gets the absolute god Q to bail them out of that situation.
I was just about to say, like, some of these down from Corpia, like, make me go on the edge of my seat, like.
Truly. Just when you think these players are in trouble, they pull out something you never could have seen coming.
The
Now we're gonna see
mid-game,
Corby.
I was about to say the mid-game LST from Adri, but just as I was about to say that, they bail out.
Yeah, LST is always scary. That damage output is always nice to have, but because of how hard you're committing to that stacking pattern,
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
unsustainable. And Corby is going to be at match point. No more room for error for Adri.
Makes you wonder if Corby's gonna like try switching it up and like definitely going even faster than earlier. Going 4 average currently.
Yeah, Corby has a lot of room to try and mix it up, catching Adri off guard. 1 point is all they need.
Mhm.
But we're gonna see Adri bursting initially. So it's gonna be a lot tougher to do so.
It's definitely like you can play fast and like try to overpower your opponent, or like taking it slow and just having a like win the long run through like super clean stacking, and seems to work because that TP's getting stuck by Corpy on Corpy's board.
Adri finds the first point. Now they're gonna look for the momentum. Bursting the stick at 4 pieces per second. But the thing about these bursts is that all you're doing is giving Corpy more clean. And if anybody knows how to counter spike, it's gonna be Corpy.
Ooh, yes.
31 from Adri. But the defensive surge release is gonna temporarily allow them to survive. But emphasis on temporarily, as Adri just plows through with 220 APM.
I find it's like so interesting to see. Like, pretty often I think a player is going for like a perfect clear setup of some sorts, but like more often I just see them bail from it, just like keep their back to back, or even do more like all spins. And with that
That's
being
gonna
said,
be it.
Corpy takes the set.
11-7. Very well played from them. We will be seeing both AG Pro and PCO try and claw their way back from losers. Speaking of which, here's our matchup. PCO versus Vero. Only about a 400 TR gap, which usually does mean a lot when you're this high in ranking. But definitely one of the more tame ones we've seen thus far.
Mm.
And Vero's opener burst is looking insane right now.
Yeah,
And we're gonna see that they are doing a nice job of converting this burst into mid-game pressure.
it's so
But
like
the stacking is looking rough.
ooh, yeah.
PCO trying to find that all spin. But that's what warm-ups are for. And yeah, Vero just immediately showing their hand, showing what they're capable of.
It's so
Looking like an
interesting.
uphill battle.
It's so interesting going from the last match to this, and just seeing like the massive like speed of speed increase from like before.
Yeah, definitely a bell curve situation there. Where speed is still king here.
Are they break
The
that from
expectations
PCO?
aren't as solidified. And if
I was really
Roach is going to set up a L spin there, but after using their L, gonna be a while till they find it there. Interesting initial donations from Roach there, but PCO is gonna keep a standard with this LST stack.
yeah, keeping it really
Roach
really
looking at
clean.
well.
Ooh,
I think they had
yeah,
it if they hadn't had to fight SRS for that kick.
yeah. And that's obviously interesting, like playing against LST, like because they're so locked in to like this one board. Oh, that donation! Oh my god. Sorry.
Oh my. Very explosive start from, we see the double stick. But Varoch was able to find that tank and counter spike effective immediately.
But yeah,
Definitely one of the more explosive players we've seen thus far.
what I was trying to say with LST being such a commitment, like if you can't, like if the opponent can't get to the well in time, they're really just like eating all that garbage. Like yeah, you
Yeah.
might get a bunch of clean, but if you just can't get to your well, like really isn't a good situation to be in.
Very well said.
Thank you.
And yeah, we're just seeing those sparks fly. Near or above 1 APP for most of these early ends. PCO is going to transition the stick into a cross.
Yeah.
Roach gonna send the surge earlier to
Yeah.
keep a more neutral board state.
Yeah, especially like with PCO doing a T-spin minions for the T-spin and making them wait for that cycle a lot for that T-spin. Really good decision making.
Definitely. But the thing here is that it looks like Roach might be going a little bit too fast for their own good. We're seeing a lot of misdrops, and PCO is recovering the speed deficit through sheer decision-making difference.
Yeah.
But things can change.
Really scary that from PCO at the very, very top, but they do make it out, I believe. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a very high pressure situation to be that high. Your opponent's still sending, and then they just have a surge in the backlog.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the nerves in that kind of situation.
Mm. Really good down stack from PCO. Leading perfectly from the surge break into like the Tetris. I just can't speak currently, sorry.
It happens. But the interesting thing about this matchup is, like, to put it into fighting game terms, Varoch is in a situation where they have to guess right once for the kill, but PCO has to guess right so many different times, just because of like how much more they need to build up before they can really secure something.
Mm-hmm. That might have been an accidental break from PCO, not sure, but like does seem to work out.
Yes, it does. And early misdrops from both players not going to be able to take their initial TSD. PCO's thinking about turning this into Fractal. Ends up just bailing out. A little bit too scary, too dependent for them to follow through with that plan. And Varoch, despite being at the bottom of their board, doing a very nice job at just sending more pressure.
Yeah, just building up their back-to-back almost a chain that their surge. Oh, that's really
I had that
unfortunate
donation
there.
there, but the key came not when
Yeah.
they needed it to.
It's always a struggle, like seeing the setup but just not having the pieces for it in time.
Really a heartbreaking moment. See another C-spin opener from Baroche. They're going to be able to tank a lot. Something they definitely like to do with the speed of their counter spikes. And PCO is going to be on the back foot here. They are going to find that T-spin to do some
Really,
canceling.
I was say really a good decision making from that down stack as well.
Once again, we're going to see PCO take advantage of Baroche's misdrops here to try and take the advantage. They're not going to be able to convert into a kill just yet.
Especially with Roach like speeding up, and I was gonna say building up their catching up their back-to-back chain, but as I said, they immediately break.
PCO is going to enter 6-3 here. Not going to overstack, going to keep their well at 4, just in case anything happened. And it was the correct decision, because something did in fact happen. Roach is going to send 25 over. PCO is going to find the initial well access, but can they survive the follow-up?
My God.
Looks like they can. Oh, never mind.
I really thought that was like some sort of spin, but I guess not.
Yeah. Like, any time you think the pressure is over, the opponent always gotta do one more, just for good measure.
Yeah.
It's a very good habit to have.
Wow.
It is working out very well. You're going to see the extended misdrop from Baroche. And PCO with the LST in this situation, looking like an extreme advantage state.
God, yeah. Like, it's wild how even like at this top level, like how much misdrops affect game, like the flow of a match.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter how high you are, misdrops are misdrops, and you can't really escape them. It's just a matter of how you deal with them.
Yeah. But it's really like what like splits players apart, like without the rankings, like how you deal with these misdrops and like turn them into something potentially better.
Yeah, because they are indeed a universal experience. You cannot plan for what you didn't intend for. It's all about that adaptation. PCO, once again, just keeping their board state neutral. Keeping it clean. Roach with another C-spin. They get the double tang, sending 20, 30.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
But PCO doesn't get to
PCO
the
is
well in
going to
time.
find the
Oh my
well.
God.
Gonna find some mini multipliers as well. But Roach has not stopped their pressure just yet. PCO's gonna be fighting for well access. They get the first multiplier. Gonna be holding out for the eyepiece, but it's one piece too
Yeah.
late. Very nice sustain from Baroche there.
LST again from PCO. We've been seeing this quite a lot from PCO this set.
PCO knows where their well is at. Gonna count to 4.
Into the
Goes back
TST.
to 2. And I feel like TSTs don't really get appreciated enough. Because, like, you're usually used to a certain flow, like, okay, I'm gonna receive 4, I'm gonna receive 5. Getting hit with that 6 or 7 that isn't a surge break is always gonna throw a wrench in your plans. So even though they are risking their build, it does provide a pretty nice benefit.
It's also like I think like compared to like TSDs and TSSs, like way harder to like build a TST that actually like cleanly transitions back into your board state.
Most definitely.
just because like you need that like extra overhang and like, yeah, you can't build on top of a well. You really have to like plan around it.
Definitely the simplest staple for risk reward. And Varoche is gonna take their 7th point. No more silly scorer. Varoche is going to continue on their extension. Misdrops S-piece.
Gosh.
And yeah, that high in the board, misdropping extended is a death sentence. Gonna give PCO match point. And Varoche trying to make a statement here, trying to PCO against PCO. We're gonna see how that turns out. Despite
So
being
true.
at this score disadvantage, they are not afraid. PCO in a very scary situation is able to find the bail to cycle to their eyepiece, makes it down to the bottom. And now Varoche is going to be at the board state disadvantage. As I say this, they start to get that overstack to cancel anything that PCO is sending there.
Really good dono there. But going to the... Oh, never mind.
PCO is trying to keep their material for
Ooh,
downside
wow.
spike, but they were thinking a little bit too hard there. That's going to give Varoche time to just delete them.
Eat them.
Yum yum.
True.
Yummy clean. Yummy sustain.
True.
Varoche is going to find the PC. I believe they wanted to cancel there, but PCO was ready for the tank.
I was really hoping PCO would have gone for the King Crimson there on the left side of the board, but deciding not
PCO
to.
knows how to keep it neutral. That is a risk that they cannot afford, and very nice judgment. Taking the entire set.
11 to
Like,
8.
it's amazing even at these high speeds, like how these players are able to maintain their high efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
PCO is gonna move on in losers. I believe our next matchup is AdriPro versus Killjoy. Seen Adri from the winner's side. And just looking at this bracket again, of course, other than the obvious Ellie name change, we're used to that at this point. It's all familiar faces. Love the community we have here at the Nest. Oh no. So, one of these players are in a Tetra League match. Once again, a very staple canon event even in one of these. There's always gotta be one. Setting that timer for 10 minutes. Hello, Fitzy. I kinda got yoinked, not gonna lie, but it's enjoyable.
The yoinkening.
So true.
On a weekday morning too.
Yeah? What about it?
You don't have like class or anything to go to later, right?
No, I'm off Fridays.
Ah, based.
Peak scheduling.
The scheduler.
Can we bring up the matchup screen, do some analysis while this is happening? It's okay. It's not often we actually have time to analyze. Usually the players are on top of things, but of course the canon event had to happen.
A cannon.
That is what this is. It's always gotta be one in Tetra League. Always gotta keep themselves warm. It's a risky strat, but not a bad one.
True.
And that looks like a 800 TR gap this time.
I don't even know if that's a lot for like this season. Like I don't know when the scaling exactly starts. For
I
like
mean,
how
they
hard
did
it can be.
reduce the median by 1,000. So this is still an insane gap.
So
And if the TR isn't able to say something, then I think the global placement will.
so
The
wait, you're
60 gap
saying
is
that
massive.
you're saying AG Pro would have been 25.269 in K if it was last season?
No, it's exponential. It's not linear. That's not how that works. Avery. Look at the bars.
Bars?
Yeah, the bars show like the relative.
Oh, I
Range.
didn't even notice. The barning.
Barney. Also, it's not often that you see the full PPS gap on the stat sheet. Usually that's like just, okay, that's a run round thing. But on the stat sheet, that looks like quite the hard bargain. But once again, it's always about those interactions.
The bargaining. I mean, yeah, we might get something similar to like the Corpi match with one person significantly slower but still keep making up for it.
Definitely a good case of stats don't tell the whole story. Okay, we've gotten an update that they are really trying to speedrun this. They are extending SDPC to make sure they get this W.
Which one of them is in the match? Oh, it's Ellie, right?
Wait, what?
It's Ellie is the one that's in TL, right?
No, Ellie got, they had to forfeit.
Alright, Brain. Right. I
Yeah, Killjoy is currently in, Big TL.
You just mentioned the name change earlier. I was like, I could see Ellie change into that.
No, Ellie is Jeff the Landshark currently. We love
True. The Jeffening.
The Japanese. Oh, I better finish that Tetra League game. I gotta be in this matchup in a jiffy.
The Jiffening.
Oh, they did it.
That's actually a good question. Is it GIF or GIF?
Oh no, we're not doing it. It's GIF. I don't care what anybody says. You can pull out the freaking phonetic alphabet, but I'm still gonna say it's GIF.
I'm.
Wait, are you talking about the peanut butter or the G?
Or the G.
Yeah. Are we talking about the image thingy or the peanut butter?
Both.
GIF for peanut butter, GIF for image thingy.
Image thingy.
Yeah. Warmed up in Tetra League for real? Yeah, we're gonna see no warm up in this matchup. It's time.
The peanut buttering.
So true.
Wait, the live update of the TR on stream. That's so funny.
Yeah, this tool's amazing. Alright, already explosive starts. And we're gonna see Killjoy keeping that Tetra League warm-up extending. Unfortunately, they do miss wrong. So maybe they should have taken a warm-up round, but they're not too far on the back foot. Actually, both of these players are misdropping quite a lot. It's just gonna be a matter of who adapts first.
Yeah.
And Adrian in a very unfavorable position. Gonna have to
For a
fight
second,
for access. Not making it.
For a second, I was like, maybe that S-Tuck gets him out, but yeah, not that spike after.
Always gonna be the fallout that gets you. Maybe warm-up is a good idea? Well, now you have to deal with the consequences. Good luck.
The opening.
Killjoy is going to be taking the early surge lead. Gonna find some all spins, but looking at this board state, they're probably gonna have to break soon. Oh my goodness, they're gonna find the overhangless. Breaking defensively is not in Killjoy's vocabulary. And unfortunately, in this case, it is for the worse. AG's on the board. Gonna see the LST from Killjoy here. Aegis is just gonna keep it low. Gearing up for the tank. There it is.
Really curious how much like the speed difference is gonna play into this match.
I mean, so far they're completely even.
True.
Like, that was definitely just a stat sheet moment, especially after Killjoy just had to speedrun a Tetra League match to get here on time.
Ah, no, shame. Having to bail that S-Tuck.
Yeah.
The DT!
Fair DT opener from Adria, absolutely based.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah?
Should we like to like differentiate between like the DT cannon opener and like the mid game DT? Should we call it DTO and DT? Just like the PC opener? I wonder.
You see, that makes sense, but here in the Stacker scene, we don't care what makes sense. Acronym go Burr.
I guess. But the DTO winning.
And I think Adrian just started with a count to 4 opener. Oh my goodness, not often to see that. Yeah, Adrian's bringing out all the non-standard antics here.
The sprinting.
And the Killjoy just trying to maintain that LST. It's not often you get to see somebody remain in LST for this long. But now Adrian's in the 7-2. So we're gonna see a bit of a fight here, but once again, defense is not in Killjoy's vocabulary. Gonna break that surge offensively. But they still have a lot of cheese to get through before they access that well. DT is better in Season 2, but so far from meta, yeah. That all-spin change? Oh my gosh, DT needed that saving. Love to see it viable. Once again, Killjoy on that early LST.
Oh no, that misdrop from Adri.
Happens. That back-to-back's gonna have to break.
We're counting to 8 from Killjoy.
$20 spike from Killjoy. Age is gonna be fighting for well access. They find the first. Find the second, but misdrop the eyepiece. Able to cycle to the next one in time. And now AJ just has so much sustain on their board. But Killjoy, with the amount of speed that they've been showing thus far, is in absolutely no trouble. Killjoy looking for that T-spin donation, able to find it. AJ once again fighting for well access, but they required 3 pieces to just skim, so not too much you can do in that situation, and we're gonna tie back up at 3.
Such an interesting opener from Adri. I'm really struggling with these names today.
Yeah, Adri is in the kitchen right now. Straight up cooking it. And both players just gonna forego their back-to-back in favor of just having a better board state to work with.
I think like especially like both players are doing it, honestly it ends up being for like just a more conversation for both players. But like I often find even like if you break to like defensively, like to get a better board state, like when your opponent then breaks, you can often like actually tank it or like get through it, which is like equally as important, in my opinion, as setting those massive spikes.
Now Age is going to be taking the surge lead. Going to maintain a low board state as well, so they actually have nothing to worry about in terms of the spiking department, even when Killjoy has such a
The
commanding board
stuff.
state.
Search break egg from Adri. Yeah.
He went for the DTC spin. I respected Killjoy. But once again, risk management, not in your vocabulary. All style.
It's like watching my
I just love
gameplay.
seeing players like this, like, still be so high rated. Like, it's always a blast to watch them cook.
This is how I would play if I was good at the game.
Yeah, if you know, you know. Just go up to their profile and look at their recent sprints.
No.
TCO from both players? I'm sorry, huh? This is truly one of the matchups of all time. And Killjoy, oh my gosh, what a sequence. Very interesting decision to cover your well there. Gonna find a silly donation to find your way out. Thinking about the overhangless, realize it's just not worth going for. And Killjoy has a very cheesed board.
But Adri doesn't have have a lot on the board to really make up for it. Like, not a lot of material to work with. I said as they immediately get material, of course.
Yeah, the thing about these play, oh, Adri just knows they have it in the bag. Just gonna sit still. Like, yeah, you're cooked. I'm gonna get a drink now.
See, if this was season 1, we would have seen an Among Us build.
I hate the fact that you're not wrong. You would have definitely seen the mid-game sus cannon if this was season 1.
The Sanon.
And Adri's currently on the surge lead. Killjoy not having
Does
the most
break it
down
early.
board state.
Did break the search pretty early though. Not enough, like, garbage to really do anything.
C-spin from Adri. And now this is a down stackable board state. Not able to find multiplier though. It looks so doable.
Yeah.
It just wasn't.
Ooh.
I think the most interesting thing about like watching Killjoy is that they just be setting up donations, they don't care how it resolves. And although that does help in the canceling department in terms of the pressure department, if that doesn't work, they might just be cooked. It's like, it's always a game that's very interesting to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I do love how they've been absolutely abusing like the patch note special of everything counting as a T-spin mini.
Mm-hmm.
Killjoy's been absolutely going ham with those changes. But that is 4.44 from AG, bro. Hitting the Jets. Putting it into 5th gear.
I made writing in chat, that's because I don't play a cheese race. We love the mid-game commentary in chat from the people currently playing.
I mean, that's always a blast. If you're able to focus when there are people in your ear, it's a very nice skill to have.
I think, like, this reminds me, like, one of, like, the staples I think of, like, Tetra was, like, people seeing people play fast for the first time, but then also seeing them write in chat mid-round and being amazed at that. Like, I don't think it ever gets old.
Never. And yeah, can we talk about how this score has just been like going on the back and forth this whole time?
Yeah.
Like this is a surprisingly even matchup.
Really cool sequence there from Killjoy.
Very much so, and it is going to resolve cleanly. They look for the SCSD there.
Yeah.
Realize it's not worth it. Aiden's gonna be taking that surge lead. Very nice stacking decisions thus far.
Really interesting
able to do a health swap for the
mini.
count. Oh my gosh, the J-spin to resolve the height dependency.
Yeah, I was just about to say. The 30 spike. Yeah.
I love the sound effects for Surge, because like at a certain point, it just sounds like you're hitting record. You're about to put this on Live League for what you're about to do to your opponent.
Unfortunately, I don't really play with sound, but I'm sure you're correct about what you like are saying.
Like it just like beeps like you're starting up a recording at a certain point.
Hmm. Xbox clip for that. So true, bro. That does remind me of what you were telling me earlier about the Microsoft Edge browser on Xbox.
Oh my no! We can save this story for when we have to stall. We're seeing no stalling from these players as they are absolutely hitting the speed. Oh my! It spots! Killjoy just got the bail of a century. Adrian in a very rough position. Gonna be fighting for all access. Finds a first eyepiece. Gonna need to find a few more.
Do you think
Once
the clutch
again, very
clear?
nice counting stacking decision.
Do you think the clutch clear changes have affected any matches yet?
I don't think we've actually seen a clutch clear yet. But I imagine that it does have, at least in Quick Play,
Yeah.
has a very large effect. But in Tetra League, it's gonna be a lot more controlled.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not often that you're clearing a line and still, in the red.
Mm-hmm.
But when it happens, you know it's gonna be lit.
I think it's really interesting to see just like how much more manageable like 1-8 has been as like in terms of like down stacking and like keeping her back to back with minis.
I'd say so. Cause
Yeah, because like
the hard part about downstacking is that you're not only just trying to make it lower, you need to cancel as well. And finding efficiency in your downstack, all minis are gonna help with that. Because you're just passively built back to back.
yeah, and like with 1-8 like having more options than like insane donations and eyepieces really does help a lot. Oh, that O piece from
Oh boy, once again taking the lead. Killjoy's just like so comfy at the top of the board. Like, I refuse to believe this player does not have a TC background. Killjoy gonna be taking the Surge lead. They had the count to 4 to make it out of there. Gonna take the next one.
Oh?
And the second train has left the station. 35 spike from Killjoy. And that's gonna be match point. And we're gonna see Adri Pro playing at 5 pieces per second.
Oh my god.
No room for error. And no room for thought. Even still, they're keeping very nice down stacking decisions. It's just stacking decisions in general.
God.
Just letting the 20s fly. But even still, Killjoy's doing a nice job of keeping up. Actually matching the APM thus far. This is a pretty rough board save for Killjoy.
Adri's still yet
more mats.
Adri's still yet to dip under like above 4, which is wild.
And Killjoy gonna find a PC able to keep their back-to-back from their all-spins. Like a fully all-spin PC. Like PCs by themselves are pretty weak, but all-spin PCs are nice.
Yeah.
Not only satisfying, but also practical.
Mm.
And Adri brings this to a humming breaker.
A humming. Oh my god.
The speed has worked thus far, but has Killjoy found the adaptation? This is their last chance to prove it. Upsets happen, but will it be this time? Adri with a significant zone lead and the mats to back it. Killjoy gonna have to fight for their well access. Gonna need to waste eye. Finds the next one.
Let's get it. Oh my god.
And Adri's just gonna be building another Surge. 300 APM gameplay from Adri Pro. And there's just
4.6.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, at a certain point in that matchup, something just snapped in Adri, and they just decided, I don't want to lose. Like they really just did the OSW mindset of what if I just didn't lose though, and then just didn't lose.
True.
What a comeback.
Just nah.
Well, very well played from Killjoy, able to take that early lead all the way up to Batch Boy. We have our next matchup screen. I believe a winners finals. Aqua versus Scorpion.
Yeah.
Got about a 400 TR gap here. Only 2 seed difference. And once again, we're going to see the entire PPS gap and a half on the stat screen. But if anybody knows how to play from a speed disadvantage, it's Scorpion.
True.
Once again, players not believing in warm-ups. That'll be heading straight into the matchup.
Warm up isn't real. It can't hurt you.
Warm-up is not in the room with us right now. Nakba getting those all spins in order to find their well access, but it is still 9-0. But they're gonna find some pressure through the donations.
Ooh.
And both players playing above 150. Aqua's been stuck in 9-0 for so long, and the moment they get out of it, the shackles get released and they can finally shine, taking their first point.
The shackling.
So true. Oh, is this mirrored openers? Yes, it is. Both players going for SCPC. Aqua not going to take the PC, just gonna keep their back-to-back soaring.
Corpy's like painfully slow soft drop speed. Just now like the opener.
This looks like 30 times, what? I mean, I guess when you're in this kind of scene, if it's not infinite, it's slow.
I mean,
I
yeah.
just gotta respect him for not conforming to all of the slandering that it gets.
Yeah, definitely. I just think it's like it's so like uncommon to see, especially during like these openers, like seeing the piece slowly drop into tuck. That's like I haven't seen it in like so long.
But this is an objective disadvantage when it comes to just like your spikes because your T-spin just take longer.
Ooh. Corpy, no.
And Agma's taking a pretty commanding lead here. Currently at 3-0. But all Corpy needs is a little bit more time, and we're gonna see these adaptations shine through. That is a 2 PPS gap though.
Yeah.
So even still, it's gonna be pretty tough. Aqua went for a C-spin there, just bails with the S double. Corpy doing some donating, gonna find the surge lead. Counting the floor rather than taking the all-spin sequence. Has the overhangless, gonna take it.
Oh my god, that was... Ooh, that
the fact that
surge!
Send this much pressure from the bottom of their board truly is a statement.
And does even... Oh, the nest drops, no!
Wait, the target mode skims, but there is no IPs, and Corpy's now on the board. The APP from Corpy there. It is so far above 1.
Corpy inventing new openers mid-set.
This being forced onto Corpy right now is insane.
Corpy inventing new openers during this set.
I'm just saying, if any top player is gonna be inventing new openers, I would be pretty surprised if it wasn't Corpy at this point. And all the sustain from Aqua coming out, Corpy doing a nice job at surviving, Gonna need to waste eye,
Hmm.
but there's just
I
no
think
way out.
I think it's interesting, like, seeing Corby do the math, like, yeah, I can't, and then just like bailing.
Yeah.
I think like this just goes to show like the foresight of these players.
Because although a lot of players like to just put, oh my gosh, the Calm 7 garbage, hold on. I have to put a pin in that thought. Because it's about to get wicked. Aqua on the very slight surge lead, but through sheer speed, that lead is going to increase. Corby's going to be fighting for well access here. Gonna have to break defensively. 38 spike, completely uncancelled from Akma. Corby once again fighting for well access.
Oh,
And
the
they missed
misdrop.
opportunities. No! Would have almost been a legendary escape. Thwarted once again by those meddling misdrops.
The meddler.
But there is no meddling around. You're gonna see this completely unwavering sustain from Akma.
And Corby waiting for so long, but still getting it out in time. Wow, my
Yeah,
gosh.
Corby knows how to time. And they know how to think.
Sometimes I wonder, like, if it's just like indecisiveness or like if there's like strategy behind it. But like seeing how calculated this is, you know, the overhang.
Like, this
Oh,
is
the,
one thing that I've
the
been wanting to
overhang
say
is.
from, like, it's such high octane. And once again, we're gonna see the dueling surges. Corby currently in the lead. Aqua being forced to break defensively. This gives Corby that opportunity, and they seize it immediately, taking their second point.
As you mentioned, like with the core pure adaptations, and so you're definitely seeing it now, like Corby slowly like getting closer to like Akma score.
Yeah, they just need a little bit more time. But it is still limited. And
That-
oh my gosh, Corby might make it out of
Monster.
here.
Oh, the
Oh,
PC!
And Aqua's playing at exactly 1 APP for PPS 240 APM. The fact that Corby is able to survive all of this for so long is just like a testament to how much these damage calculations really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, most people want to try and just play their own game. But Corby understands how much these interactions really matter. And just how much being aware gives you an advantage.
Those overhangers into TSDs, they're like, I need to take notes in this gameplay.
Definitely gonna have to bring out that pad, maybe do some VOD reviewing afterwards. Once again, we're gonna see that Akma burst. Corby finds their first eyepiece, but they're gonna need to do some more cycling. Yeah, Corby's just been on cycle duty this entire set, but the moment they see an opportunity, they're taking it. So Akma still has to be careful, despite having the severe speed advantage.
Watching this kind of reminds me of like watching those like what's it called, like cold clear at like 2 PPS. Of just like how slow, methodical, and like scary Corby's gameplay is, even at like the speed disadvantage.
I do find it interesting how, like, stackers might be the only genre of game where being called a bot is a compliment.
Maybe rhythm games too.
That makes sense. Honestly, y'all should put some in chat. I'm curious to see what y'all come up with.
The zipper. The
The
zipping.
zipping.
I said it first.
And that is a very high surge lead from Aqua. And they're gonna find that 180L to keep it clean. They're finding so
that's
many
great.
sequences that I can't even play my playlist anymore. Like, I did not think I'd get eclipsed on that front. And Corby actually might make it out of here. Ah, no.
Ah.
You didn't bail them out that hard. It almost happened. One Z
I mean, that
piece
being
away from
that
legendary
that
score.
being said, though, with like Corpi taking that much time, really giving Aqua more time to just stack up that extra garbage.
Yeah. Gotta make good decisions, but you also gotta make them quick. And against Aqua, that point is just stressed even more. And the speed at which Aqua found that down stack, once again stressing that point. Because that really did look doomed. A lot of misdrops from Corpi. They're gonna find well access. But once again, they've got a lot of cheese in front of them. Aqua is going to tank the Sen, but has to cancel the next one. So Corpi might be safe for the time being. They're actually going to be
Corpi's
sending some cheese over to Aqua.
Corpi at the bottom of the board, and Aqua doesn't really have that scary of a chain just yet. I say as it's rapidly increasing.
The rapidly rising back-to-back surging.
For a second, I thought you wanted to rhyme that entire sentence.
And Corpi, once again, just showing how aware they are of not only the interaction, but their own spawn positions.
Don't know.
And the amount of material Corpi has right now, that spike is going to be insane. And I think this is definitely a moment of the score doesn't tell the whole story. Because, like, most of these rounds have looked pretty even. But
Yeah.
Aqua is currently at a 5-point lead.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about that final blow.
Yeah.
And Aqua's consistency is just able to find it more.
It really is like the beauty of Tetris, like, just like how much those final seconds really matter.
And Corpi's trying to think about that down stack, but while they were thinking, Aqua sent 50 more lines at them. The fact that Corpi can think for 5 seconds and then just have like Ultimatrix garbage on their board is ridiculous. Like, there really is no room for thought in this matchup.
The zipper.
The donations from Akma. Like, the amount of times we see that 180 LJ spin from Akma in order to keep their board state clean. Definitely gonna need to add that one to the arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Because of how useful it is.
Yeah.
Really showing the whole hand. Overhangless from Corpi to re-access well. And that
Yeah,
is
with
gonna be a
how
defensive surge break from Akma.
With how popular all spins have gotten, I wonder if we'll like ever see like normal all spin being implemented in Tetris, in Tetrio.
07 Suffusion. I missed it. Corpi isn't missing these down stack opportunities. Has the column 7 garbage. 31 spike from Akma. Corpi was doing a very nice job at cycling, but Akma's sustain is just too great. Because usually it's the spike that kills, not the sustain, but Aqua just has such a severe like speed advantage that it really doesn't matter. Spike, sustain, same difference when you're ahead this far. Is that? No, it's not. I think we were both looking at the same thing there.
Yeah. And it
And the
leads to and
they
the
actually had the double multiplier. I really wanted to see
yeah.
that.
Oh
spike
my
through.
god. Akma, why do you have to die?
You couldn't have waited 3 more seconds, not even.
Mean. I think it was a misstep from Corpi, or I may just be tripping.
Oh, that's not no misdrop. That's an all-spin sequence. What do you think this is?
True. This is Corpi gameplay.
And if
And like
no room
imagine,
for error has been the theme of this set, it is definitely applying right now.
I could like
Aqua
definitely
only
imagine.
gets right once.
I could like definitely imagine like Corby during an interview definitely be like, yeah, oh, half these are misdrops. I just like made them work. Like it wouldn't be like
Just
the first
imagine it
time.
being like a true crime podcast.
Yeah.
Like the criminal POV versus the cop POV. Just, yeah, they were so slimy and so cool, and like we just couldn't catch them. Nah, I was just trolling, bro. But I think that is quite a theme in this set too, just like the absolute criminal survival that Corpy's been showing thus far. But they're gonna need to show a lot more of that if they want to win the set. They have the surge for the cancel,
Ooh.
and oh my gosh, that's so much cheese on Aqua's board, and they're gone. They're out of there.
Yeah. It's what I think is like a lot of cheese really just isn't in this like at this TR level.
Cause like yeah, cheese matters, but a lot of people think about the piece count when it comes to cheese race. But the second you bring it to a versus setting, it's all time that matters. And if Aqua can bounce back 12 lines of cheese in 2 seconds, how do you kill?
Yeah.
And just the sustained Savant, Aqua is going to end up taking that set. Very well deserved, but hard fought from Corpy as well. A reminder that was a winner's final set, so we will be seeing Corpy attempting that run back. But we've got one more matchup before we see them again. That's Adri Pro versus PCO. Once again, seeing the matchup screen. I never thought I'd be seeing a Brazil in the seeding. Seed 1 versus Seed 7.
Am I confused? Huh? What?
Apparently, PCO is on TL. So we got Canada Event Part 2.
Oh. You ready for the the story?
Yeah.
The
It's
the
fine.
Xbox.
Never mind, I'm team!
The edge.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm?
Yeah, y'all gonna have to hear that story another day. Good luck, have fun's come out. The theme of no warm-up continues. And into the set we go.
Wondering if like the no warm up will be like pay off this set for Adri like last time.
It has not. But as we can tell right now, they are going absolutely insane.
Super clean, yeah.
Super clean at 4.5 pieces per second. Gonna find the multiplier, compromising their entire board state for the spike, and it is going to work out. Another stick spin from Adri. Gonna bring this into a surprisingly clean 4-5 stack. PCO is gonna be stuck on cycle duty. Uncomfortably high in the board, and that J piece misdrop isn't doing them any favors. And no more spins allowed. Adri's gonna take another one.
We saw like a 4.6 from Adri just now, like wow, Christ.
Yeah, as we get later into this tournament, more players are starting to get warmed up and shifting into higher gears.
It's definitely also like I imagine some of these players, especially like Adri during that match of Corpy, conserving their stamina.
Maybe. Now that you say that, that is a very interesting thing to think about. Like, imagine like being the opponent who has to fight the player who beat Corpy. Because you
Yeah.
already know they feel like the shackles got released, and you have to deal with a whole different version of that player.
Yeah, like definitely. Like when we saw Adri versus Corpi, they were playing like I think the fast we saw was like maybe like a single 4 during the entire set, like once, and it's like peak. But now we're seeing them play above 4 for extended periods, round after round after round.
Because after fighting a player like Corpy, you gain awareness on what exactly you're capable of.
It's also like you get like the rest, which the other players just haven't had yet, so you just have that extra stamina for later as well.
Truly. We're gonna see another stick from Adri. PCO is on the LST arc,
Truly
trying
cinema.
to find that counter 4. Trying to find another counter 4, not able to, realize it's not worth it. Adri's on the surge lead, but they are pretty cheesed. Gonna send 31, and this looks like a desync. Yep, there it is.
A common case of Filipino Wi-Fi.
You hate to see it. And the forecast coming out from Adri, I think they were forecasting like 5 T-spins in advance there, but a little bit too greedy, and PCO is gonna find that punish with a 26 spike. PCO is gonna go ahead and cross it. Once
Okay,
again,
80
these
sport.
donations from Adri. It's gotta bring attention to them, and it is paying off.
Unfortunate missed at the end for PCO.
Yeah.
I wonder, have we seen PCO do a PCO this set?
I don't think we've seen PCO do a PCO this tournament. I think it's just like the most insane misdirection of all time. A magician never tells. Unlock the ancient secrets of lying.
Devious username. Getting up to mischief.
These misdrops from Adri are gonna start to come back to bite them. And PCO, really good at finding these punishes when the opportunity arises. It's not often, but they have been finding them. Neither player decides to 6-3 for 6-3. Unfortunate.
Shame.
And PCO is able to maintain the LST. And they're gonna find the clean way out. The counter 4.
The dono?
I don't know. They just did it. Bringing it up to 6-4. PCO found the sustain kill. And this is looking pretty risky. PCO is going to be forced to break their back-to-back. So now they're at quite the surge deficit. But H is going to be forced to break defensively, and that board state is not cooperating. PCO is bringing this ever so closer. Do you think PCO hurt us?
What?
'Cause, yeah, we haven't seen PCs from them, and then they just like start doing PC openers.
Do you think they what?
Do you think they hurt us?
Oh, her. Oh, possibly.
It is working out though.
And again, I don't know if taking advice from the people commentating might not be the best idea, especially during the set.
Or it's not. But if it works, it works.
True. I
They
mean,
might
we
have
are
that
like
same type of attack bonus.
we are in like a position to really like, you know, give extra insight to these players, which might be why like some of the players do choose to listen to us ramble while they play. As we aren't the ones playing and just analyzing.
And Adri's sustain right now was absolutely insane. Unfortunately for them, they did end up misdropping, so PCO was afforded the opportunity to escape.
Ooh, I have to rejoin the room real quick. My render engine crashed.
Alright.
We we love Tetrio.
Really. Adriana, commanding Swords Lead, gonna be allowed to break offensively, but PCO had this survival. But can PCO do it again? Because Adri's sustain is never ending. That's gonna bring it up to 7-5.
Wow, I gotta find the room real quick.
That's gonna be another stick from Adri. Unfortunately, they did misdrop that J piece. So they're gonna have to bail on the stick, and PCO is gonna be the one with the C-spin. And the counting from PCO is looking pretty risky with how dependent their board is. Gonna have to break their surge in a completely neutral state. Not being able to take too much advantage with that. Welcome back.
I'm back in. Love to see it. Classic Electron moment.
PCO is gonna be forced to do quite the harsh
Oh.
down stack.
These donations with Nino from Adri are like something else.
Yeah. Like, once again, it's a bell curve of, oh my gosh, 9-0 is the only thing I can do, so therefore it's good, and then it's, oh my gosh, 9-0, I'm limited so hard, and oh my gosh, 9-0, my third eye's open.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I definitely would still say like Nino is like a disadvantage, like regardless of whatever's happening.
I mean, yes, it is a disadvantage, but like, the level of disadvantage is like negligible at a certain point.
I guess. And then again, as like the skill level of these players like goes up, like the just how big the how much like it's worse matters more with how like how much better these players do play.
Makes sense. Adri does have the single line of garbage on their board, denying their PC.
That does remind me of like one of like the pitches that were brought up for like how to like nerf PC spamming by making them send you like one line back after clearing a PC, which is an interesting decision. Like, I think it's interesting. I would never do such a thing. I don't think, but like I think it's an interesting way of tackling the problem.
And the sparks are flying right now.
Yeah.
He's still
Adri's-
having a lot of spikes, but Adri canceling through sheer sustain. Has a lot of stored charge. Gonna send it, but it's entirely clean.
Like,
And Adri was almost reaching 300 APM during that segment.
also, thank you for the raid, B-boy Winston.
Hi, Winston. Welcome in. Thanks for the raid. Hope your stream went well.
Did you win?
Adri won.
I was referring to Winston, but fair. Is it pronounced B-boy or B-boy?
I think this is the first time I'm hearing the boy. I do know that they were on a big cards game, Big Balatro.
The Balatro.
Now Corpy's saying time to really get bullied. Corpy surprisingly does not have confidence to get the upset again.
I was gonna say that even though they did win last time.
I think they could get it done. It'll be pretty tough after Adri just like unlocked the speed.
Cass85
Once again, you're used to it.
Cass85 in chat saying B-boy like St4, like your username.
It's okay.
It's
I'm right for that.
okay. Now we get to see another set blessed by Corpy stacking.
A very rare moment of Adri's pressure sending cheese. And once again, Corpy is completely out of there.
It does make you wonder, like, imagine like a different approach I saw people pitch at one point was like, what if they kept the chaining, but instead of it sending more and more clean, it sent like slight cheese, like sets of like 2-2 and like 3-1.
Atrocious. No.
I do wonder how that would change the gameplay though.
That would take the main downside off of chaining. Because the thing about chaining is that you're just giving your opponent clean, so it's like an actual risk to go for. But if it's just like making it cheesy, then like there's no point to try and intentionally cheese. There's no reason to break your back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a moment where speed actually does take over.
The question is, what if you were to speed cap set game that did that?
Well, then you have PPT.
PBT without the RNG. Oh, that overhang this.
It is quite unfortunate that they let their surge get to 12 before breaking it, but it doesn't really matter. It does still secure the kill.
I've had like moments where like I'll see like an overhang this, and then I'll panic and build an overhang for the overhang this for no reason. So pretty unfortunate there for Corpy, just getting a bit too much, like the lines a bit too early. That second piece, place placement.
Bit too early. And Corpy is going to resist the intrusive thoughts to take that PC. It simply was not optimal. AG once again showing that sustain that they're known for. And oh my gosh, the speed at which they built that spike.
Yeah, unlike the first match, we're definitely seeing like more speed from AD than now.
Yeah, and once again, we do see that Corpy, like what speed Corpy is capable of. Because it's not like they're just, oh yeah, they're playing slower. They are playing at a specific speed deficit every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Always keeping track of their proportions. AJ with the stick skim, I believe? Oh, call them garbage. This is scary.
Unfortunately, I did end up using the TPs in the stack there to make keep it cleaner, but oh, it's a shame to see.
Yeah.
There's actually one thing. I think it's like people become so focused on like, oh, I need this TPs for like T-spins, they just like forget that you can use TPs to create more T-spins.
Yes, you can.
I think it's like at least it's interesting. Like
This is versus your pace doesn't matter nearly as much. It's all about the relative pacing.
mm-hmm. The pacing.
So true. And Corpy is just looking for that opportunity to start building their back-to-back. And until then, they will not be getting greedy. Finding the 19th spike. AG wasn't ready for it, gonna be forced to break their surge defensively. Gonna have to be on cycle duty. Very scary situation to be in. But they are going to make it on time. You're gonna see that immediate speed up as their fourth state gets opened up. Oh my, that downside
Oh,
from
the
Corpy.
IPs. I think it's the cleanest ice beam SRS I've ever seen. Like that was so smooth.
And then they're gonna send the 34, but AG once again completely ready for it.
Into the C-spin! Doing Corpy dirty with that.
Yeah. A silly bit when it comes to ice spins, when people don't know how to ice spins, is if it looks like a good opportunity to ice spin, you probably can't. But Corpy's just putting a wrench in that philosophy.
The wrenching.
And it's gonna force Adri to break out of their fractal and absolutely dirty their board state.
Oh my...
And those resulting misdrops.
Aw. One thing that always confuses me, is like, I keep thinking that like a J-spin has to be one taller than I think it is, like with an overhang. Like I keep thinking, oh yeah, like a J-spin with like the with an overhang needs like it can only clear 2 lines, but I keep forgetting they can actually clear 3. I just forget how the spin works.
Gotcha.
Most misleading spin in this game, IMO.
Says the Finn main.
Hey, Finns are consistent, in my opinion. Same goes for ISO TSDs and so on. All the polymers are they make sense if you just like think about it long enough.
Mm-hmm. And Adri is just going ham on this 6-3 right now. Corpy's gonna be stuck on cycle duty as per usual.
Yeah, falling behind
Look
on.
how clean Adri is sending. They're completely chilling. Yeah, they're out of there. No sweat. But now they receive the cheese, and that's gonna be harder to deal with. As comfy as you are, that surge is always gonna throw a wrench in your plans. Corpy trying to get that over.
Yeah,
They do, but it took a little bit too long, and Adri's able to stack up more sustain.
I always found like Peace like climbing super like nerve wracking.
And Corpy is gonna take for that count to 4. They were thinking about getting that Z-spin double there. A little bit too risky. And Adri's in prime time to kill. They send that surge. Corpy on cycle duty. Gonna be forced to waste eye in the stack. And no, the T-piece doesn't cooperate! Adri is just expanding this lead now with a 6-point gap. Adri just completed a stick in 4 seconds. Like, they built and executed the whole stick in 4 seconds.
Oh, I've no, Corpy, you poor thing. I always find like eyepiece misdrops the most heartbreaking, honestly.
Yeah. Feel that one.
Especially when like the eyepiece then ends up sitting on top of like your now covered well.
Yeah, being on cycle duty for so long, when you actually do end up misdropping that eyepiece, it is heart-shattering. It's like, yes, I'm out! Oh, never mind. And the 29 spike comes out from Adri.
It's like, I'm out, incorrect buzzer sound.
That is gonna be match point with Adri. Currently at the largest point deficit we've seen thus far. And the fact that Adri is just like able to abuse the Calm 7 garbage and never get it like so consistently since Adrian.
no! A misstep from Corpy, and that's GG's.
That is GG's. Adrian ending it stylishly at 4.20 pieces per second. Very hard fought from Corpy there. But that is the way the cookie crumbles. And here we have it. Grand Finals. Akuma versus Adri. As expected, this is the lowest TR difference we've seen.
Mm-hmm. Wait, I forgot. Who was seed 2?
Who was Seed 2?
I was about to
Okay.
say it wasn't Ellie, but yeah. Laptop terms.
Yeah, unfortunately Jeff was too busy throwing people off the map in Rivals.
Wait, okay. With Ellie's new username, should we start calling them Jelly now?
Jelly?
Jelly!
I'm down.
Like, I think it's like less insulting than smelly. I think.
Oh, definitely. And Aqua's just keeping that 2-7 stack. And that all-spin knowledge? I feel like Akma's all-spin knowledge is like pretty underrated in the scene.
Mhm.
Like everybody looks and goes, ooh, ah, speed, but then you actually like notice what they're doing, and it's just even more astonishing.
Ooh, speed.
Real. Like, look at this. Look at the sustain from these players. Aqua playing 240, Adri playing 220. Elite level cancels. Adri is going to build a spike, not able to find it. The Q did not agree with them. And Adri's gonna find the column 7 garbage. Their meal is prepped. It's time to serve. And there's a 29.
God.
ECO from both players. Oh my... Okay, that sync is insane. Like, both players had no question about it, that just was the optimal decision. Now Adri's gonna be the one on cycle duty. Finding their well in time. Very interesting decision from Adri to cancel all that.
If you about to say Avery?
Maybe.
Adri.
Word's hard.
Meow, 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 meow. You know?
So true. And Adri has a lot of sustain here. And when your sustain starts putting up spike numbers, like that's how you know you're fast.
True.
Like you're able to put 3 pieces down between your last send and it is still increasing the spike counter.
I was about to ask, what are the rules like the like what does make the spike counter go up and like go down and stuff like?
It's just how fast are you setting them.
You're like John Knowledge, who are supposed to know these things.
It's literally just how fast you're setting the spike.
But like, doesn't like the like words I sometimes find like if the number is high enough, it almost like lasts longer on the screen, making it like easy to continue.
Not too sure.
Can we get an ask in chat to confirm this?
37 from Akma. Like, not only are we seeing more spikes, we're seeing higher spikes.
Mhm.
Big number go boom. Akma taking a significant surge lead here. Gotta be forced to break defensively though. Excuse me,
Ooh.
yeah, Adri did find that punish. We'll see the stick versus early TSD. Aqua finding overhangless for the slightly better down stack. You do have their well covered though. Oh! No, they did have the owl. They had it. For those
Yeah.
drops, they know.
I do wonder what, like. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a big number.
Big number, funny. Anyway, you were saying?
We were seeing the matchup as old of time, Stick versus SPPC. And then after that, a little bit too late to save, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because opener phase for these players lasts approximately 2.5 seconds.
I guess it depends on what opener we're seeing. That does remind me of that one like wild opener I saw from like a replay from this. It was like Westall doing like it was like SDPC into SDPC into TSC tower
Yeah.
into C spin or something like that. It was crazy.
Average Westall sequence.
Yeah.
Akma's just chilling this 2-7. Realizes it's time to go down. Did have to use the eyepiece over the well though. And the pieces just don't cooperate. Nothing flat to access well. AD's gonna take lead. AD's gonna find the counter 4. Has a lot of clean on their board. And
Really good
Aqua's
no-no.
entirely man-made. And the speed at which these spikes fly, truly astonishing. And those all spins in order to keep Aqua's board stay clean.
Mm-hmm.
AJ makes it all the way down to the bottom of their board. They are ready to tank Akma's pressure. Thinking about doing it again. Has the well,
IPs.
IPs misdrop,
Ooh.
but it's not that bad.
Yeah.
And we're just seeing constant 200 APM rounds from these players.
Have we seen a 300 yet? You think?
I think we have. Or at least very close to.
That actually brings up the question: what is the highest APM number we have seen in a match?
I was gonna make a joke, but it's kind of the wrong tournament for that.
I am a bit confused. I don't know where you were going with that, but okay.
The numbers are not in the stratosphere.
Oh, right. My brain keeps switching around Radiant and Stratosphere. Not Radiant, Fusion and Stratosphere. So I keep thinking that Stratosphere is one that's dead, but no, that's Fusion.
No. Do we see the player 6-3 for 6-3? Are they based like that? Oh no, we're gonna see the SCPC versus Stick Mirror.
To be fair, we are in finals.
We are in finals. And I just love it when like there is no like strict speed advantage and you just see both of these players at the exact same pace, setting spikes at the exact same time, and they just keep full canceling.
It's almost like some sort of harmony to it, like when it just keeps lining up again and again and again. You know?
Very much so. The sync is unparalleled.
The synconing.
I tried to resist saying it, but you got me.
You've like affected my vocabulary. You've straight up sponged me.
Get over it.
The spongening.
Once again, seeing that SCPC versus Stick Mirror. Aqua has a cleaner board state here. AG does have some all spins to find their way out, but
Ooh.
they're not as good as they would want it to be. Very nice donation to find the canceling.
And
Aqua
all the
has
cheese
so
in
much
Aqua's-
cheese on their board.
yeah. Like, so much cheese.
The charcuterie.
I do forget, like, how much do you have to send, like, a search for it to send cheese?
I believe like 9 is the sweet spot, or less than 9. And Akma, once again, just flexing that all-spin knowledge. Making it all the way down in stylish and optimal fashion. It's not often you see stylish and optimal mix, but when you do, truly a beautiful moment. And Age is playing 5 PPS. Even Akma wasn't ready for it.
This kind of reminds me of, like, a few years ago when Sodium Overdose was more active. And we'd see, I think they peaked at, like, 8 or 9 PPS during their openers.
Versus?
Yeah?
Yeah, that's throwing me in for a loop.
Yeah, it's been, like, a long time. I don't know, they're probably not active anymore, but, like, it's just, like... I don't know, I just think it's silly. Like...
What is very interesting when you see, like, matchups like these, where they're just in sync for so long, that when something does break it, it's just, like, so off guard.
True.
Like, nobody's ready for it. The spectators aren't ready for it, the players aren't ready for it, we aren't ready for it. Age is gonna send a large spike this time.
Do you ever think that we'll get to, like, a point where, like, 5 PPS ends up being the norm instead of 4?
Oh yeah! Give it a couple more years.
I wonder, like, what the human limit ends up being for, like, actual, like, versus playing. 'Cause, like, we've seen, like, what Allied, it's like 8 in, so when sprints and stuff, but, like...
Okay, I'm gonna say right now that we're not even close. That probably sounds insane, but we are not even close. Because players have shown that they are capable of playing so much faster, the only thing limiting them is the fact that their opponent is, like, pacing them. But when both players are able to play at such a high octane, they will. And
yeah, but also...
that will be standard.
But it's also, like, when, like, there must come a peak where, like, playing for like, such speeds, like, consistently for, like, so long will end up causing, like, RSI.
Okay, look at where the scene is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then say that again.
What do you mean?
The people who are good at this game do not care.
You're right. But, like...
I've heard it happen to too many players.
Well, okay, that's... I haven't, but, like, still, that just, like, you know... Eventually it becomes such a common thing that I could see people like intentionally going a bit slower, to like maybe like hoping that their opponents in the future end up getting our side to get like a freebie here and there.
That is the craziest long con of all time. Like, they're gonna start pacing themselves across tournaments. Like, okay, if I play at 5 PPS this time, then I get to play 6 next time because they're cooked. Well, Aqua
Yeah.
is coming back from this match point deficit here.
If Akma wins this, it's like Akma wins the entire thing, right?
Yeah,
There's
Adri's the
but
one
if-
coming for the reset.
Yeah.
So we might see it. And
God, that was
Aqua,
really-
once
that-
again, just showing that
yeah, that was
insane number.
That was so scary for Adrian just now.
Adri knows no fear. And there we have it. It's a reset. I can't believe how often do these actually go to reset?
I think almost every time I've been here, it's happened.
The Avery curse.
The cursory. Do I have a minute to get water, you think?
Yeah,
The drinking.
real.
Wow.
These are also pretty funny level numbers from the players too. Adria at 4114 and Akma at 2111. Alright. Combatants are set. Up to their discretion when we begin. Okay, never mind. Everybody's getting their break in. Alright, everybody is in fact getting their break in. So we've got a plenty of time. Wait, okay, yep, it's time to stall. Alright, the story that y'all have been hearing about since the beginning of this stream, the Microsoft Edge Tetrio experience. So, for those of you who don't know, I used to play on Xbox. Xbox exclusively. So, I was only able to stream TC. But then I remembered, wait, Tetrio is a browser game. What if I played on the Microsoft Edge browser on my Xbox? And it worked. But the unfortunate thing there is that I wasn't able to stream it because it doesn't allow you to capture Microsoft Edge as like a streaming application. So it almost happened. You almost saw the Xbox Microsoft Edge Tetrio streams. But you were spared of how scuffed that would be.
Hi.
Welcome back. Ooh, great timing.
The timing.
So true.
Straight up timing it.
Mm-hmm. Sketchy says, I back. Players are ready?
The sketch.
No warm up, let's do it. And here we are, true finals.
Trinals.
Your Radiant champion will be crowned after this set.
Are you
In
are you
Aqua. What?
crowned? Are you saying that Radiant is a monarchy?
Listen, that hummingbird nest credit, that's a lot. That's
Mhm.
that's a powerful, you know? It's a symbol. Like they be
Mhm.
flexing. How many credits you got?
Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking like. Actually, I probably should. I don't know if I'm like getting to this, start rambling about this now. Maybe after the set.
Maybe. Gonna see the mirror once again. These players have been doing this quite a lot. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the TSS to make their resulting
Ooh.
spike that much greater.
ZPs.
Aqua choosing to take the first TSS.
Another stick from Adri.
And that donation from Akma. Both players at even surge. Adri breaks first. Aqua trying to increase this as much as possible, but that misdrop's gonna force them to break.
The Furge? Furge? Surge, I can speak.
The surgeon.
The Furgening.
And once again, just showing the display of down stack speed. And Aqua zipper into Finn! Yeah, the SRS plus knowledge is insane.
Wait, was that a Finn? A zipper? I did not. Maybe I was.
Yeah, you saw that. You saw a zipper into Finn.
Well, I didn't see. I didn't see. That's why I was asking.
And Adrian's gonna find.
Okay. If you can see a Finn, can we see an ISO?
You might be asking for too much there. This is finals. But you never know with Aqua. And now
True.
Adri is going to take advantage. And take a point. Cut copy from Akma. As a count to 4.
Tries to
And they're
spike.
going to be able to maintain their surge.
This is. I don't know what I want. I don't know what board I want to look at. It just keeps like going back and forth.
Alright, Aqua's gonna start up with the 6-3. Adri's gonna start up with the surge lead. He just got a lot of clean into 2-7. Does end up being forced to break out after a misdrop. Neither player taking the aggressive stance just yet. Just currently testing the waters until one player can build a spike.
I'm trying
Adrian
to get
attempted it, but
the,
then LP Smith said no.
the back up, but like couldn't get too much surf, but does end up being just enough to kill Adri. The Adrianing.
Mm-hmm. See that stick versus SDPC. The early O mirroring.
It's like been a staple of like watching these two face each other.
Yeah. And Adrian's just like playing almost 5 consistently at this point. PCO from both, and we are going to see the immediate sync again! Every single time both of these players PCO, they always do the exact same solves. Like, it's one thing if you're taking the PC, but like, the follow-up no PC syncing is truly amazing. Adrian's gonna take a surge lead. Aqua does have more material that is available to them at the current moment,
Oh my god.
but Adrian's speed just does not care. They're gonna access it anytime anyway. And Aqua's gonna be doing their all-spin solutions, trying not to send too much clean, but not able to build the surge they were expecting to. And Adrian has a lot of cheese to get through. And as I say that, already makes through most of it. But that surge coming from Akma.
Oh, okay, I was about to say
Scary.
it. I'm getting being a bit cheese now, pretty far up as well, and does end up being enough to top Akma out.
Yeah, AJ has been getting more experimental after we've seen so much sinking. AJ's just trying to send more and more cheese, canceling most of the clean. And Aqua is gonna go into DPC here. You haven't really been able to all tournament.
How strong is DPC even this season?
Not really unless you get RNG allowed to keep back-to-back.
I guess.
But sometimes your opponents just aren't worthy for it.
Hmm? What does PCO even send at this point? I keep forgetting. Cause like it
Hmm?
changed like what does PCO PCs even send at this point? I know for a while they sent like they gave you
Isn't
back
it
to back.
5 off the clear right now? I think so.
Hmm. So it's half to what it used to be.
Yeah.
So remember for like a little while it was like I think it was like 4 or 5 plus it gave you 2 back to back or something like that. It was also like an interesting choice, but like definitely different.
Mm-hmm. And Age is going to be taking the lead here, I believe, for the first time in this set.
Mm. Contrary to last set.
Both players at pretty similar surges, but Aqua has a much better board state. Oh my! Yeah, Age is out of there.
Like, there's no point to comment the cheese just because it's gone that fast at this point.
I mean, we're gonna have to see it again from Adri. But that sustain from Aqua just says no.
Yeah.
We are tied up once again.
I wonder if there's like just like we have like LST for like really efficient and constant T spins, right? If there is like an equivalent to that like except like any of like the 4 whites and stuff for like sending as much cheese as possible.
Aqua keeps trying to build spikes, but Adri isn't allowing them to.
Doing a really good job of like keeping stuff like a clean board, both players.
Yeah, no player has found breathing room. Aqua tries it, builds a fractal into cut copy, has overhangless.
Yeah.
Now Age is going to be the one on the spiking attempt and makes it all the way down 31 spike. These Adri down stacks are truly something. Oh, do we see it again? Oh no, we do actually see different PCOs all this time.
A rare occurrence.
Yeah, surprisingly rare occurrence. That eyepiece misdrop from Aqua is not going to allow them to get the ultimate they were looking for. Age is going to be on cycle duty.
Ooh.
But they're going to have to
Really
be
hard.
wasting
Does
quite a
get
few
so well.
IPs for the access.
Yeah, and the surge break, they're really not. Ooh, but they do get to on time. It could have been really scary if it got to it a bit later.
A masterclass in down stack canceling from Adri there. But
Or
Aqua
another
still has
spike
no
from
sustain.
Aqua. But ain't enough. Adrian immediately making their way back to the well.
The all-spin counting from Akmo, once again, abusing the T-spin mini patch notes.
I wonder how much of it is intentional and how much like happens to work.
I mean, I do feel like that does happen now. Like, so many of them just happen to work.
Yeah, like
I'm not too sure that many people have adapted yet.
Yeah. I just like. I imagine for a lot of people it's just like, oh, this thing I kept telling myself not to do, I can just do now, type thing.
Yeah. Like, looking at how Octa's been stacking thus far, it definitely is intentional for them. 27 comes out from Akma. Adri has cheese, but it looks pretty down stackable. Isn't forced to waste eye. Aqua just gonna be sending more and more cheese. Trying to keep it low, trying to keep their advantage, trying to build up a surge whenever they can, now that they do have breathing room. Age is going to be taking the surge lead this time, but they don't really have the board state to really grow it. Never mind, what a sequence! The
Taking
vision
the
is
surge.
unparalleled. Has the count to 4. It's gonna be forced to break defensively.
I was about to say, like, went from being side behind to and getting back ahead, and then with the Akma surge break, but you did get it back a bit ahead of me. Ooh. Akma back to that cheese again. Akma's board being cheese, it really has been like a staple of this matchup.
Yeah. Adri has been doing better at cheese compared to Aqua, but like the solutions that Aqua is able to find are simply just more advantageous if they're allowed to get away with it. Improving the point right there, they're gonna bring this to a 6-6 tie.
Yeah. Ooh, miss what they're doing this opener from Adri. It's a little too much, a little too early for Adri to handle. Like an opener. Yeah.
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 I think this is a cool matchup because it's kind of like the deck builder argument of do you want to win more or do you want your win condition to be harder? And I think that Adri's on the win more and Aqua's on the win harder mindset. Because when Aqua does get their advantage, it is almost impossible to really escape from it, but Adri's just been keeping it neutral, keeping it consistent. Definitely on the win more side.
You know, I'd like to give insight, but I have no idea what you're referencing, so...
I mean, in most deck builders, you do want to... It's a matter of, do you care about obtaining your win condition more? Is it hard to do? Or do you want your win condition to be more, like, viable? In terms of, like, the combos you go for.
Awa.
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 Skill from both players. We are gonna see the sink, but Aqua chooses the sink. And that board
Ooh,
save
the
from Adri.
combo extension from Adri instead of the... Huh.
Like, the fact that Aqua was able to pause, recognize the board state that Adri had, and then make the decision to tank is amazing. Because if they had canceled that, the amount of sustain Adri would have had could have been monumental. So even at this speed, still able to make the interaction decision making that really matters. Very impressive stuff.
Ooh, the cheese. It's like the 50th time you said this matchup, but yeah, it just keeps happening.
It does keep happening, but Aqua has a huge well of sustain.
And that
Be
takes
careful
a
trying to defend
back
all
lead.
mid. And Aqua's starting to break their surges earlier, just to get more cheese. Realizing that the big surge is no longer the kill condition in this matchup. It's always going to be about that chip from now on.
Do you think that British people, instead of calling it chip damage, should call it crisp damage?
Potentially.
Really clean sequence ins here from Akma. Just donor after donor after donor into clean T-spin. They're getting that back-to-back chain and up to 9 at this point. 10, 11. It keeps going.
And the way they use their all spins to just keep the count going.
Hmm. Oh, that misdrop. Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
We're gonna see a tie once again. Definitely the closest matchup we've seen thus far. Even the reset game was really close. But both players are equally downloading each other.
Downloading?
Yeah.
Have I been like, how out of the loop am I with Tetris terms?
This is more of a fighting game term.
Oh wow.
Aqua is in the 6-3. Not building too many spikes yet, just
Ooh,
trying
nice
to
job.
have some room for pure cancel. These tanks that Akuma is going for are very risky, but the payoff is immense.
Mm. Ah.
9-9. Will we see a Humming Baker in true finals? It is a possibility. At this point, I just really want to see it happen.
He did a clean sequence there initially from AG with that opener.
The donations that Adria is continuing to go for, now in pure downstack mode, makes it down to clean. They're gonna start building up that surge.
Fractal from Adrian. Into STSD, STMB.
Aqua once again doing very nice at these counting loops. Peak stacking decisions. And Adria once again just has so much cheese because of the way that Aqua's playing.
It really like
And
changing the flow of game. Thus far, it's been a lot of Akma getting cheesed, but now we've been seeing more of like AG being cheesed. Not that it ends up mattering much, given how fast AG ends up like clearing it. But I think like showing out adaptation from the players.
Adri building the fractal, trying to find the counter 4, finds it, but now they're going to be on cycle duty as Aqua still has so much more sustain, and they're going to send it all as cheese for those early surge breaks. Adri once again in their element with these swift down stacks.
Akma finally getting down to the bottom of the board.
Averaging around 180 APM. Oh, Adri's going to be going for big surge win condition. It hasn't done too well in the past, but this time, things are different. Match point. Tournament point, even. Got that early Omir. Aqua not able to find the PC. Gets a very nice well.
Ooh,
Gonna
yeah.
go for their sustain potential. But Adri is getting really nice cycles.
Doing that back-to-back 10 off, but does not matter at all. Ooh, ah.
There it is! At 240 APM, Adri takes that final round, final set. And that's the tournament.
9-11.
What a showing from like all the players in this tournament. Like seeing like the warm up over this entire tournament, like it's not like, oh yeah, one person just like swept through the whole thing. Like we saw so many changes, even like mid-set, of like the dynamic between the interactions.
Yeah.
Can you explain that analogy in Balatro terms? I'm assuming it's the deck builder one.
EP GG's. Hi. It's been a while. I have not talked on a Hummingbird Nest stream in so long, but I did mention in the server earlier that there is a special announcement at the end of the tournament. So, for those who stuck around, you're in for a treat.
Ooh.
So we are hosting Prism 3 again. Or well, we're hosting Prism again, I should say. We're back with the third iteration of Prism. We haven't had a Prism since 2023 TWC. So now we're back. Prism 3 is gonna be a platinum qualifier for TWC this year. Top 64 will be placed in pink bracket, and only those in pink bracket will earn points for the TWC qualifiers. I should probably open the registrations now that I think about it. Give me a moment. 1 second.
Getting us with the Nintendo announcement. Alright, here's this thing. When does it drop? Today. Go.
Today. It drops today. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I have to make everything public now. Oops.
Yippee, Prism.
There you go. Prism is now live. So you can now go in our server to register for Prism. Yay! Like before, there is a prize pool. And yeah. Wait, what else is there? Wait, let me actually also ping people for the announcement because wow, we have that. And there you go. Oh, right. Also, I forgot. Aside from the silly tournament, we are bringing back the keychains. We're bringing back our Haven keychains for those who missed the first drop. The order form should be live now, so if you'd like to buy one, go ahead and click that link in the Twitch chat if you want to grab yourself one of these. Yippee! They're back! We love Haven. Like before, it is a little limited stock. So if you want a guaranteed keychain, you have to do it early, I guess. I should probably mention that. I actually didn't talk with Flower regarding like how long the form will be up, but I'm assuming it's going to be a week after Prism concludes, I think. Yeah, okay. Yeah. We got confirmation from Flower in the chat. Yay! So yeah. We have Prism now. Yippee! I hope everyone is excited for this. The multi-bracket tournament is back. Yay. I don't know if there's anything else I have to mention. I kinda don't have the wait, hold on. I need to double check something.
Okay.
Let me cook, chat. Give me a moment.
Yeah, she in the kitchen. What will she cook?
Okay, there is no command for for TWC. Right. I think this is a good opportunity to also mention that starting in Radiant 125, so like the one after next week will be counted as silver qualifiers for TWC as well. So that's more opportunity for people who are interested in earning points for TWC. Yay. So yeah. Also, I don't have a poster for Star Cup Supernova, but like that's also another platinum qualifier that will be kickstarting the TWC qualifier. So go join that one as well. I don't have a link for Galactic. So can someone drop that? Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
If y'all are in the... Dang, I don't have invite permissions. Wait, why don't I have invite permission? Wait, what? How? What?
Okay, wait, I got it. I'm
Okay.
I'm ripping it off from from the TWC website. So yes, Galactic is hosting Star Cup Supernova on January 31? Was it? What's the universal timestamp for this? Because I don't know. It's showing February 1 for me. Um, I think it's January 31. If I'm not dumb. But yeah. I'm rambling. I have nothing else to say aside from yay Prism, yay keychains, yippee.
I have a primary source. This thing is amazing. I've got it right here. Hold on. You hear this? This thing's I love this thing. It's so pretty. Like the images are not doing it justice. You need to actually just like buy one of these.
Yay. So
Drop
Yeah.
pics, drop pics.
Not pics? I just said the pics aren't doing it justice. What are my pics gonna do with my Samsung quality camera?
Samsung camera isn't that bad. Anyway, we're not sponsored by Samsung. Yeah, that's it. Prism 3 registrations is now live. So again, if you want to register, go join our Discord server and go under the Prism 3 category. And then look at the registration channel and just drop your Tetrio username. I think it's good to note that you don't have to be ranked in order to register because it is technically an open tournament. It's actually yeah, that's about it. Do we have anyone raid? I don't think we do. Do we?
Start streaming.
Star go stream.
Don't look at me! Y'all actually want me to go live?
I mean, you can if you want to. I'm not forcing you. We already forced you in comps
Okay. There are
today.
people that raid like in other stacker games. We have Bedsores on T99. We have Tetrium on TC. There's also Big Cheese on Tetris 99.
No way,
Big
BTMC. No, I'm joking. I think we should just raid Tetrium. I think.
Yeah, they frequent.
Slash raid Tetrium. Yay! Alright. Aside from Prism, don't forget to donate to Hummingbird Nest. Please save Flower's pockets.
The pocketing.
Also, congrats to Aji. You will have 1 HN credit.
A fine addition to the monarchy.
Yup. You have $5 to your name.
The drippening.
1 HN credit.
For real. Okay.
If it's a monarchy, does that mean that like a hummingbird nest can be compared to the British?
Oh god.
Never mind, it is
We-
not a
we are
monarchy.
not
not
British. We are not British.
The
Okay.
Britishing.
Okay. Thank you everyone for watching. We will see you in Stratosphere. Yeah. Oh wait! Oh wait, I feel like I should correct myself, but I don't have enough time. It's fine. Alright, bye everyone. Bye.
Bye.